everyone.
Hi, everybody.
It's Lisa.
And it's Abby. And we are back with episode 3 of our Growth Hacks and Marketing Chats podcast, where we are going over our workbook, Marketing Alchemy Unlocked, Mind-Blowing Strategies from Mary Marketwise. And on today's episode 3, we are going over chapter 2, which is the art of captivating conversation and creating the message.
Yep, creating the message. So last time we figured out who we're going to be talking to, right?
Yes.
Who we're going to be directing our marketing message to. And no matter where you got in that process, this section is the story. What are we telling them? What are we going to be? How are we going to be presenting the product or service that you have? It's a pretty short chapter because it's fairly simple thoughts. So nothing has to be done here other than understanding that target market needs to be the focus of the story. So there, in our book, we refer to it as the hero of your marketing message.
Yes. And basically the way you want to look at this is the same way we kind of talked about it last week, that the hero of your story, the target audience, it's the most important piece of your whole business. So you really need to understand who it is that you're trying to sell your product or service to. Mm-hmm. And once you figure that out, the next step is to understand what problem is it that they're facing.
Right.
What problem is going on? What is the conflict that they are finding, and what solution is it that you have that is supposed to fix that conflict?
Right. And then how does your product fix that once you figure out what that conflict is? So it's important to understand that your product isn't the hero. The focus has to be on the target, right? On the person that would best be suited for your product. But your product is going to solve a problem for them.
Yeah.
And that's how you develop your messaging. You know, you not so much the benefits of your product, or the features of your product, but the benefits of your product. What are they going to do to make the life of your target market better?
Yes. And this is because, you haven't gotten so far yet into the marketing plan. This is a great time to really see if the target audience and the product that you've created even works well together. Mm-hmm. Because you can easily find that you might be going after a specific target audience, a specific person, but the problem that you think they're having, they might not actually be having. Because that's the whole thing. I feel like we all have great ideas, and we all want to offer great service, but if there isn't a purpose, if there isn't a reason, if no one's really, complaining about this specific thing or needing this specific thing, then you might have to adjust, and you might have to start to either change who your target is or change what your product or service is.
Right. And going through these steps and figuring these things out is really, really, it makes all the other parts of what you're going to be doing in your business just a lot easier. So take the time to focus on the target, on the person, make them the hero of your messaging, figure out what problem does your product solve, and then in the messaging, let the target know that they are going to benefit in these ways.
Yeah. One great thing you can do, depending on what your product or your service is that you're trying to sell, is if you're trying to do a localized thing, or even just like a broader but still more localized kind of business, do research and look at what is already kind of around you that's already being done, and what gaps can you fill. Mm-hmm. Where is there a gap that you can kind of weasel your way into this specific place? Like if you want to open a coffee shop, and there's a ton of coffee shops everywhere, but what is missing in your town or in your area that other coffee shops don't have that you can give that the people actually want? That's kind of what you're looking at. What is it that is needed that people actually want. Not what's needed and you think would be cool, but what do people actually want? Because people don't know that they, it takes a lot of work to convince people that this is something that they need, regardless of what you're trying to sell. So you really have to understand, you have to really put yourself in somebody else's shoes and be like, is this a problem that I actually need solved? And then once you kind of have all of that down pat, then you've figured out what your hero wants, you figured out the conflict, and then you figured out the resolution, how you're trying to solve that conflict. And then it's just all about, persuading your audience to then buy from you or utilize your services.
And that's where we start talking about the different ways to persuade an audience. And one of the biggest things, I got something in my eye, but one of the biggest ways is through social proof.
Yes.
Through if other people like your product, if they're benefiting from the product, and you can captivate that in some way, like a lot of, one of the best ways is through a review, which is why they're so important. Then you start to show social proof that your product and service does what it says and people are happy with it. And so social proof is just like one of the best and key ways to persuade.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we all watch Shark Tank. You sit in there and they go right on to Shark Tank, and the first thing that they ask is how many products have you sold, and what is your current market base even look like? If you're somebody that hasn't even sold anything or no one's using your services, the sharks don't even want to give you the time of day. So you need that kind of social proof, no matter how you get it. It could be from people, buying your products. It could be from you creating case studies. Maybe if you're a web developer or a social media marketer or somewhere in between like that, you create your own creatives that you can show in a portfolio to people. Any way that you can kind of get social proof that shows that you know what you're talking about and that other people also believe that you know what you're talking about, mm-hmm. and believe in your product.
Social proof, it's a word that's used quite often, but the reason it's used is because it is the way. It is the way to grow quickly. It's something that you should be focusing on when you're thinking about messaging to your audience.
Yes.
And another one is in your messaging, and it depends on the type of business you're in, but scarcity.
Yes, absolutely.
When people think that there's not a lot of it to go around, or a lot of time, or there's a limited opportunity, they're more apt to engage and go forward and try that thing out. And so scarcity is another great way to persuade an audience.
Yeah, I mean, just think about if you've ever been, online or in a magazine or talking to somebody or seen an ad and it says, get yours now, only 10 left in stock. Immediately you want to know, why is there only 10 left? Immediately you want to go in and you want to look at, what's going on? Or when a company selling a service says, we're giving this deal to the next 2 people that sign up with us for X amount of months. You want to be one of those 2 people. Just mm-hmm. Even if you don't really know it, you instinctively I want to be one of these 2 people because I want to get this deal and I think I can benefit from this. Mm-hmm. And that's just kind of how you have to think about it. It can feel like I'm sure there's lots of times where people are saying there's only this many things left, and there really isn't. There's a ton left. But it's the idea that you're trying to convince people that they are going to be a part of something that not a lot of other people are a part of right now.
Right. So it's another good way to think about it when you're getting your story together and getting your messaging together is scarcity. Then you can move on to something which is also very important. It lends into the others, which is to show yourself as an authority figure in your field. And you really need to work on that, I think, and not even depending on what you do. You want to be the best barista. You want to present that to the marketplace, or whatever it is. You want to continue to create yourself and to reinvent yourself and to gain the knowledge so that you are the authority in your field, no matter what it is. And then you want in your messaging that to come out. I mean, that is also, that goes along with social proof and all of it, because it's just extremely an important way to persuade people to come on.
Yeah, a great way to be able to build authority is from getting awards and from getting recognition. And I think, like, you know, we have all of these, what are they called? I guess like courses where you can get certifications and stuff like that. Yes. And, you know, it might seem like, oh, I don't really need that because I know what I'm talking about, right? But maybe just taking the time to do those things and to get those certifications will come a long way. Like, if you have kids, think about getting a babysitter, right? If you're looking at two different people who want to babysit your kids, and one of them has a CPR certification for children and infants and one of them doesn't, which one are you more likely going to choose?
Right.
The chick that has, or the guy that has a CPR certification, because you know that they know what they're talking about when they say, I'm going to make sure that I can keep your child safe. And that's kind of how you want to look at this, is even if you're like, no, I know I'm an authority, you need to be able to show people that you're an authority.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a kind of a crazy person because I love to take classes and courses and
research and learn and read.
Because if you ask me what do I think about something, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go through and make sure that I know exactly what it is that I'm getting myself into and what's going on. And I spent my whole life kind of in that mindset, which is one of the reasons I went to get an MBA, because I wanted to be an authority in the things that I'm talking about. Or I have some certifications too that I've taken. And I mean, I guess you could probably get a little too crazy with it, but I mean, I would much rather really, really know what I'm doing and really understand the field I'm in, so that I can really help people. I can get the social proof that I need. And that makes my services scarce because, hopefully I can command a decent price for what I'm doing.
Right.
So that's kind of the mindset that you want to think about, like spend your time to become an authority. And another good way to become an authority is become a speaker.
Yes.
Right? Become a speaker and get up in front of people and talk about, the things that so that you can be known as an authority. And I'm not saying pretend. I'm saying become an authority in your field.
I think it's one of those things where, you gotta weigh the pros and cons of staying silent and not staying silent about the things that you're good at. And like for me, the idea of getting in front of a large group of people and talking is horrifying. And every time I've ever done it, I've only ever really gotten praise for doing a good job. But while I'm up there, I'm shaking in my boots. My hands are I better not be holding paper because you'll know that I am stressed out.
Me too, but they say they can't tell. It's just
Yeah.
And the really great part about what you're saying is that great speakers all say they feel that same way. Right? So everybody feels that way. So don't worry about that part.
Right. And sometimes you just have to you have to know that if I do this, if I go up there and I talk in front of all these people, because I know what I'm saying, they're going to see me and my business as an authority in what it is that I'm talking about. Like I have heard countless people speak in different organizations and different events, and I have, you really have no idea who actually knows what they're talking about and who's just up there, saying something that they think they know about. But the point is that I believed in and believe every single person that I have ever listened to, for the most part, because they're up there and they're doing something that everyone else isn't doing. They're claiming to be an authority here and making us all believe that. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do. The more that you show people, and that can be through, that's why we always tell our clients, blogs and articles and newsletters are so important, because you want your customers and your clients and your patients and whoever to know that you are the authority. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. So, the last idea we have for persuasion is reciprocity. So that basically means that just human nature, people, when you give someone something, they want to give you something in back. So women are notorious for, you look good today, and rather than just saying, oh, thanks, they're going to tell you back, oh, you look good too today, you're pretty too today, right? So it's reciprocity. In business, it works the same way. So when you want to persuade someone, always think about giving something away.
Yeah.
Giving something of value, something real away, so that you can keep this person engaged and wanting to do business with you. That's another great persuasion tactic.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has ever bought anything off Etsy, Etsy's, I think Etsy's a little pricey, but, it's a lot of people on there hand making things and selling things. And when you get the person who really cares about what they're selling on Etsy, you'll get this box in the mail, and it's this really nice little box, and it's got this nice tissue paper in it, and there might be free stickers, and there was a lot of thought that went into the free things that were given in that box and the way that box looks. Mm-hmm. And now, because you have done this, because you have taken this extra time, I'm going to remember this company. Mm-hmm. I'm going to remember that you were the guy that gave me a free sticker. I think one time I got a free magnet from somebody. I don't remember what I had bought from them, but they just put a little free magnet in there. I still have that magnet, and I still think about that company every once in a while. And I'm sure that it cost them money to have made that, but they took the time because they were like, I want to offer this free gift and just be like, thank you for, purchasing from me. Mm-hmm. And if anybody here uses Temu or any of those things, you log in and immediately, a little wheel pops up. Anywhere. I mean, think of any of the places. I think Ulta does it sometimes, maybe Sephora, random places that you go online, a little wheel pops up, and you click the button, and it gives you an offer, and you put your email in. And in exchange for you to get that offer, you have to give them your email. Right? Now this person has your email, and they can market to you, but now you get 15% off, or $100 off, or a free item, mm-hmm. or whatever, because you've done this. Mm-hmm. And that's going to cost them money, but now they have something of value from you, and you are taking something of value from them.
Yeah. And I think as long as, I'm all, the name of our company that we co-own together is Ethos Business Strategies. We're really focused on, ethical behaviors in marketing. And so marketing is a balance of psychology and business. And there's just a psychology in that if you give something to someone, then they're more likely to reciprocate back to you or want to use your business. And as long as your offer is valid and good and provides value to them, that is what you want to do. You really want to give something of value that they're going to take, like you said, like the magnet, something that you kept. Something of value that is important to you. And that's what you need to think about when you're doing this and creating your story and creating the way to persuade your target to come and work with you. That's the section we're on now. Go through those parts and fill that part out in the workbook or mm-hmm. in your PDF that you might have downloaded. This is just getting it all together, getting the ideas together again. So we have the target market. Now we're going to kind of have our messaging, kind of think about the different ways of persuasion. And then we're going to be going into chapter 3 next time.
Yes.
Which is reaching the target market.
Yeah. Once you've figured it out, once you have your message, what do you do then?
Mm-hmm. And if anybody has any questions or is stuck on any of the parts, where can they email us at?
You can either email us at abbyj@ethosbusinessstrategies.com. You can visit us on our Instagram at abby_ethosbusiness or Facebook, Ethos Business Strategies, and DM us. I'm always looking at my DMs on there, so go ahead and DM us if you have any questions. Really, there are tons of ways that you can reach out to us. Just visit our website, and you can find them all right there.
Yeah. So we'll be happy to answer the questions too.
Yeah. So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening to this on wherever you listen to podcasts, please go ahead and follow the podcast. We love any and all feedback, so please take the time. If you do not yet have a copy of Marketing Alchemy Unlocked, then please go over to Amazon. I have put a link in the description for this book, and that way you can go ahead and follow along with us while we continue to create a marketing plan with you. And if you followed along for this long, if you've been here for this long now, you should have like 20% of your marketing plan done, right?
Yep.
So we're getting there a little bit at a time, and we just really thank you guys for being along this journey with us, and we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.